Good morning. I'd like to talk to you guys today about our Explore the Outdoors recruitment event. Now that we've gotten through the first week of school, we can focus on recruitment and what that looks like. Back in 2019, we did Explore the Outdoors and it went off really, really well. So we're bringing that back this year because we think that it is an excellent program and that the kids are going to be absolutely interested in what we're going to be doing with that. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see the materials that you either got at Roundtable or you are getting in this email with the rest of the information. So this is the Akela's Leader Guide to a Successful Recruitment that you're going to get. I highly recommend that you read through it. If you don't have the time, this is why I'm making the video, so I can share all the high points with you, and then you can go ahead and go through and read it at your own convenience. So just so you know, this is going to sort of spell everything out of what the recruitment night looks like and what you need to do in order to have a successful recruitment event. So let's keep in mind that this is for your unit, and we'd like to have everyone have their recruitment events done by September 30th. That's going to allow you guys to come out to camp on October 8th, which is our Explore the Outdoors event. We're going to do a morning session and an afternoon session again, just like we did in 2019. The reason we'd like you to be done by September 30th is so that all of those kids get the opportunity to do all of the fun things that we talk about when we go into the schools. Archery, BB guns, hiking, all of the fun things that scouting is all about that we share with the kids to get them excited and get them to join. So keep in mind, your recruitment can happen anywhere. It can be in a park, it can be in a church, it can be in a school, it can be really wherever you want, as long as it's safe for the kids and there's lots of fun activities for them to do. All right, so this part sort of shows you what you're going to be getting or what the kids are going to get in their recruitment packets that we usually give you every year. I'm going to go through this a little bit later when it's more pertinent to the situation that we're talking about. So just as a reminder, use Facebook, use social media outlets, share pictures of your pack doing fun things. Share pictures of successes that you have along the way, and you're going to be able to put a very positive spin on what your pack is, and you'll be able to positively show adults in your area and parents in your area what kind of a pack that you have and how much fun you guys are actually having. So August, we're almost done with August. But it's time to start advertising. So if you haven't gotten yard signs or posters or flyers from the council, please go ahead and do that. And really quickly, while I have you, I'm going to show you where you can access that form. So you just go to winnebagobsa.org, and then you're going to choose this little sandwich button on the top right and go down, and you can click on this bottom right recruitment material request. And that's going to allow you to fill this out and get it sent into Taryn, who is going to be making up your flyers for you. So everybody loves QR codes. That's sort of it's a newer thing. We've been using them for a while now, but you can actually go and make your own QR code. Each individual pack has their own individual to them QR code. And so you can take that and you can put it on flyers, you can put it on your posters, you can put it on your Facebook, whatever you want to do with that. A lot of people really like to see those events on their Facebook page. So if you have a recruitment, I would definitely urge you to go ahead and create a Facebook event with that. And we'll talk a little bit about geofencing here in a couple of minutes when we get to that page. So again, flyers, a lot of people have seen successes when they hang those flyers up in libraries, in gas stations, or convenience stores, grocery stores, you know, places where you're going to get a lot of attention, a lot of foot traffic, things like that, in order to spread the word and get that out. Also, if you get yard signs, it's really nice to be able to put those up by the school if possible or across from the school. That way parents picking up their kids see that there is a Cub Scout event coming up. Now, let me help you keep in mind that, you know, that's just one touch. You can't just go with yard signs, or you can't just go with posters, or you can't just go with a flyer. As many touches as we can make to that person, the more it's going to get in their heads, like, oh yeah, Cub Scouts, Cub Scouts, Cub Scouts. So I encourage you to use all of the ways to make that happen. So talk to your families, you know, get out into your community, have your kids invite their friends, your scouts invite their friends. If you meet at a church, or if a church is your charter partner org, I would encourage you guys to put a flyer in their bulletin for Sunday, or ask if they can put stuff in their mailboxes or whatever. Back to school events are pretty much done, so I'm not really going to touch on that. But if you have the opportunity to go sit in school and pass out flyers, I encourage you not to sit behind the table, rather stand up and walk in front of the table, because that table somehow creates a barrier, and people are going to be less likely to stop and talk. Now, if you are in front of your table and you look approachable, well, actually being in front of the table helps make you look more approachable. So I would encourage you to do that. So September, we are moving into September extremely rapidly, and that is when our recruitments typically are. So again, make sure that you keep sharing, keep hanging up posters, flyers, all that kind of thing. So this geofencing thing, let's talk about that for a second. I don't want to spend too much time. This really explains a lot of it, but you can throw, you know, $5 or $10 at it, and what happens is you fence an area. So I would encourage you to fence like your school. So when mom or dad is in the pickup line waiting for little Jimmy and Susie to come out of school, and they're looking at Facebook, when you geofence, that automatically pops up on their phone because they fit the demographics and because you've thrown a little bit of money into it. So if you have questions about that, I'm more than happy to answer those on an individual basis. And if I get enough, I can do a separate little video to get into it more. We use that in 2019 for our Explore the Outdoors, and it worked, I thought, pretty well. So next we have pre-event to-do and reminders. So, you know, set your date, time, location for your recruitment. Make sure you talk to either myself or Laura about getting into the school and talking to the kids. We do have the wristbands this year. The kids love the wristbands. And I've heard of PACs who are doing a special incentive, like if they wear their wristband to the recruitment, they get like a cookie or something like that. So something to think about. Make sure you get that the material request form back into us so we can print out your flyers and get those either sent through the mail or delivered or whatever that looks like, or you can come pick them up. Again, just start promoting, have your PAC calendar ready. This is super important. I've talked everybody's ears off about this, so I won't go on about it, but have at least a 3-month calendar ready. The biggest complaint that I hear from brand new parents is, well, I didn't know when the next thing was, or I didn't know whose contact information I was supposed to have. Parents like to have that calendar so they can get all of those events into their calendar so they don't actually overbook, and so they can make sure that they're coming to your meetings. Otherwise, if you don't provide that, then chances are that parents will drop off because they will see it as a lack of communication, and as we all know, no one likes that. So that being said, please also, if you're going to share a calendar, please put contact information for someone that they can get in touch with as they have questions, because believe me, there will be questions. This is a whole brand new world to a whole bunch of new parents. So make sure that you get a list of supplies together that you need, and, you know, buy all the supplies. I would encourage you to have a mock recruitment night. We're going to go through our plan here in a minute. And you'll see that there's just a couple moving parts. And so it's sort of nice to be able to walk through to make sure everyone understands what their jobs are, what their roles are, and making sure that it's getting executed in the proper fashion. So day of event to do and reminders, you're going to have to set everything up. make sure that you're having fun. Make sure that you take some pictures to throw up on Facebook, collect all of those applications. We're going to talk about that in a minute, because there are stipulations on that this year. All right, so here is the round robin recruitment idea, which I was going to share with you and talk about. So essentially, these kids are going to, well, I'm not going to go there yet. Okay, so let's talk about round robin. What I would encourage you is to have 4 tables set up. You're basically going to have a point person here to welcome. I highly encourage you that if you have a troop that you are feeding, that you ask that troop to come help you. Said it before, I'll say it again. The little kids love to see the big kids in uniform. They think the big kids are awesome. So the more you can do and have your troop involved, the better off you are going to be, because not only are you going to have more hands to help make lighter work and have other scouts to entertain the new kids, you're going to have someone for those kids to look up to and say, I want to be like that when I get older, and it can help with retention in the long run. So you get in, they get welcomed. There's, this is a great place to grab a snack, whether that's, a cookie or a, whatever. So you can see that there's 2 tracks. The black is the parents and the green is the kids. Table 1 is a welcome table, and you basically talk about, here's what to expect for the night. I would encourage to have your most effervescent, bubbly person here at this one, because that is one of the first faces that they see. I would stick a couple of scouts in uniform here probably if I were you. So then they go on to the next table, and the parents get to learn about the pack, and I assume that right here it explains it all on the next page, so I'm going to let you read into that at your own discretion. But they'll basically get a packet, and that's going to have a bunch of stuff in it. One of those items in the packet is going to be a leader's guide for them, for the parents, and I will go into that in just a moment here. They're also going to get a Cub Scout treasure map. We have made this fillable for you, and if you're doing it at a library, you can say, go find this book, go find a stuffed animal, go find, I don't know, a library card or whatever. So this is going to be what actually happens at your event. And that is where we are right here. They're going to get their map out of their packet right here, and they're going to split up. And the parents are going to continue on to table number 3, where they're going to fill out the application for their youth. And if they're going to join as an adult leader, they will fill out that as well. So the scouts actually break off, or the newbies break off with the scouts, and they go on that treasure hunt. And then they actually come over here, and then once they're finished with that treasure hunt, the scouts can play a game with them while their parents finish up filling out that application and move on to table number 4. So when they get to table number 4, they're going to get a map, and that is going to have where they need to go. So we have 4 stops. We have the recruitment night, we have the scout shop to get their uniform and handbook. They have their first den or pack meeting, and then finally our culmination event, which is explore the outdoors at Ingowanas Adventure Base. They're also going to get a sheet like this, and that explains where they're supposed to go. Now let me explain what all goes with those 2 items. They're going to get a compass and beads, just like we did in 2019. So they get a bead for each stop, that each of those 4 stops that they make. The first one at your recruitment, you will have a little baggie of wooden beads. And so you're going to give each scout one of those wooden beads and a lanyard. And then once they turn in their application with payment and you get that to the office, we will exchange you each application for an actual compass. And yes, it does look like this. There's a glow in the dark circle right here. And they're actually going to use this at the Explore the Outdoors event. The other stops, the Scout Shop will have beads. You guys will also get beads for your pack meeting, and then we will have a bead and a patch for them at the Explore the Outdoors event on October 8th. This basically says what everything is as well. So that's the recruitment night. Again, these are the stations, and I'll let you read those at your own discretion. There's some tips here. Just keep in mind, be enthusiastic, be happy to see people, you know, choose roles wisely, choose people who are going to be best for the job at your recruitment night. Be invested, make sure everything's colorful, welcoming, inviting. A lot of these parents, we have to keep in mind, a lot of these parents are ready to get back to it. They're ready to make friends. And so this isn't just for their scouts. This is an opportunity for them to interact with adults as well and make friends in that way. So just make sure that it's very inviting. Make sure that, you know, everybody's friendly and all that kind of stuff, and you will have a wonderful night. The next page is the fee schedule. I really quickly would like to, well, so we are almost out of August, so you're going to be looking at September fees at this point. So one thing that I'd like to point out is Scouts Life. It's now called Scouts Life, not Boys Life anymore. $1.25 a month. That's a really, really great deal for a magazine. A really great deal. And I love Scouts Life for two reasons. One, it helps with reading rates. You know, the kids love it. I've heard it passes through the entire family if you get a subscription. Mom, dad, read it too. But the kids really helps with their ability to read, and also it helps with retention in the scouting program because they're reading about stuff that they're learning about in scouting and stuff that is enjoyable to them, like, you know, first aid and kids saving other people's lives and jokes and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't already get it, I encourage you to get Scouts Life. So after the event, make sure that you thank everyone for participating. Another item that you should have at your event is a sign-in sheet. That way, even if they don't sign up for scouting and give you an application directly that evening, it's going to allow you to circle back and follow up with them and say, hey, this is what our next event is. We would love to see you there. And then that way you can, you know, they can't just say no right away. And you can remind them of all the fun you're going to have at the next meeting and to invite them back and make sure you get that application in your hand. Welcome calls are a really, really good thing. Hey, welcome. So nice to meet you guys. We can't wait to see you for our next meeting on X date, X time, X location. Again, make sure that you get the applications into us so we can get you your compasses. And that is pretty much all for that. And then you'll be on your merry way with school year and scouting and all that kind of good stuff. So what the parents are going to get that evening is this Akela's Guide to Cub Scouting. Now, let's think about it. We all remember when we were parents for a kid who decided that they wanted to join scouting and we had no idea what we're getting ourselves into, right? Most of us, I think. This really helps explain how Cub Scouting works. So it talks about Akela and who that is, the law of the pack. It talks about den meetings. It talks about pack meetings, Scout Oath and Scout Law. It talks about uniform and it has pricing in there, so you don't have to know that off the top of your head. All you got to do is reference this page. The prices are up to date, as are the hours to the Waterloo Winnebago Scout Shop. Handbooks, this just explains to them which one they need. Sort of goes through a year of what scouting looks like. So obviously we have events throughout, and we sort of talk about that in here. So this talks a little bit about stuff that's on a PAC calendar, and then talks a little bit about Ingawana's Adventure Base, which we all know and love. Talks about youth protection training, which is super important. And then just sort of check all this stuff out. And then finally, there's a page so they can collect contact information. So in case for some reason you don't get a sheet out with your contact info on it, they can fill it out themselves. But it makes it easier if you just have it ready for them and you can hand it to them. So finally, last page just talks about the districts, and then it gives contact information, as well as, you know, Facebook and some websites and things like that. So they get that, the parents get that the night of. They will also get an invitation to the Explore the Outdoors. This is just a half sheet. We're cutting these in half, and it talks about when the event is and where they can go online. So finally, once they come to Ingawana's Adventure Base, they're going to get a certificate of participation after they're finished with the Explore the Outdoors event. And it should be a really good time. So that is all I have for you today for, hang on a sec. There we go. Okay, that is all I have for you today on recruitment this fall. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us in the office. Myself, Laura, who is the River Valley District Executive, Jan and Taryn can help answer questions too if you call into the front office, if Laura and I are out at appointments or busy. I think you all have my cell phone numbers. So you're more than welcome to call or text if you have questions or anything like that. I'd just like to say that I'm extremely excited for this recruitment. I'm excited to bring back the Explore the Outdoors. We had wonderful growth in 2019, and I think everybody is ready to get back to it. I know I have been for the entire time. So let's get out there. Let's have a great recruitment. I believe in you guys. You guys are awesome at what you do. And let's have an awesome Explore the Outdoors event. Let's get some new scouts in and get their parents involved, because as we all know, scouting is a family event, and we only have you know, a few short years with our kids before they go off and they start living their adult lives and being their own people. But it's our job as parents to get them ready for that, and scouting is certainly one of the best ways you can do that. So thank you guys so much for your time today. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, get in touch with us. Otherwise, we look forward to hearing from you to set up your recruitments, do your scout talks, and we look forward to an awesome recruiting season. Thank you guys.